Hello everyone. I'd like to discuss today something very, very important, and it might be absolutely vital to your practice habits and your ability to get better. It's no mystery that learning how to practice is pretty much the thing. If you practice well, then you're good at getting better, and if you're good at getting better, you're going to get better quicker, and if you're getting better quicker, you're probably enjoying yourself a lot more. So let's talk about mistakes bulls make when they practice. So what does a bull do? Well, if you think about a matador holding up his red cape and a bull running across at him full speed, the matador steps out of the way. The bull keeps running. One of the most common mistakes that I see when students are practicing, this does not go for playing, or there's a difference between practice and play. If you've seen my videos, I've told you that, is that they begin to learn a piece and they start to play at the beginning and they don't stop until they've made so many mistakes that they feel lost. Practicing well means really three foundational things. One, you pick your starting point, and it's not always the beginning, by the way. Two, you pick your ending point, and that's not always the end of the piece. And three, repetition. So you'll see these tick marks on my blackboard above my shoulder. That's because I just had a student in here earlier, and we were practicing a new classical guitar piece. And guess what? He learned half of it in one lesson, because we got enough repetition under his fingers, and we also set our starting and ending points. So here's how this works. When you begin to practice a new piece, read the first measure. Starting point is the beginning, ending is the end of the first measure, and play it a couple times. And if there's anything difficult inside of that first measure, then bring your starting and ending points so that you are focused directly on that difficult part. And once you repeat it enough and it begins to feel comfortable, because it takes repetition, then you can start to widen it back to the first measure. Now, if the first measure didn't give you any problems, then what you're going to do is you're just going to kind of add in a little bit at a time. And if you do that, you're going to be not only reinforcing what you've done a number of times, but then you're going to slowly trickle that new material in. And the rate at which you're going to learn a piece is going to be much, 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 much faster. This might be the most important thing that I tell you on this whole YouTube channel. Now, of course, there are other things that make this easier. My practice journal, which you can claim by clicking up in the corner at that card or checking out the description, the link's down there. It lays things out so that you can say, this is my goal, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5. Well, the multiple stages are your starting and end points. Now, if I'm learning a piece and I'm having trouble getting from this chord to that chord, and then more trouble from getting from that chord to this chord, well, I'm going to practice chord 1 to 2 first. And then I'm going to practice chord 2 to 3. And then I'm going to practice chord 1 to 3 after I have mastered 1 to 2 and 2 to 3. And stage 1 would be chord 1 to 2. Stage 2 would be chord 2 to 3. Or stage 1 could be measure 1. Stage 2 being measure 2. And stage 3 being measure 1 and 2. Setting that starting and stopping point is extremely powerful, and you should implement this in your practice. It's going to take a lot of your frustration away. Also, of course, you're going to need to play slowly so that your brain has time to soak these things in. So remember, if you don't want to make the mistakes bulls make, set your starting point, set your ending point, stick to them, and do some tick marks so that you know exactly how many times you've played the material between A and B. And after you've played it enough, I generally choose 5 to 10 times, then you can stretch the starting and ending point. I promise you, you're going to learn 1,000 times faster doing this. So by all means, guys, don't forget to subscribe or check out the next video. Happy practice, everyone. Definitely do not forget to subscribe and like this video.